Good evening and thank you for joining us on News 360 live from Adisawe, Kanda in Accra. I am Ayisha Yakubu-Halid.
And my name is Paa Kwesi Asare. And coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
President Akufo-Addo accuses his political opponents of being behind the circulation of the controversial Ejapade document in an attempt to undermine his political integrity.
Prospective presidential aspirants for the December 2024 elections to cough out 100,000 cedis as filing fees, whilst parliamentary aspirants had to pay 10,000 cedis.
Also in the bulletin tonight, management of the Service Ghana Auto Group Limited rejects claims it wasn't qualified to win the contract for the after-sales and maintenance of some 307 ambulances.
In business this evening, Ghana Gas Company allays fears of LPG shortage and power disruptions following scheduled maintenance shutdown.
And elsewhere on the international front, thousands of Nigerians hit the streets to commence a 10-day protest over bad governance. We've got details of all these stories and many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X. Now to our very first story, and the Electoral Commission will open nominations for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections on Monday, September 9. The nomination period will close on Friday, September 13. In a press release issued on Thursday, August 1, the Commission stated that this process is in accordance with Regulations 6, 7, and 9 of the 2020 Public Elections Regulations, that's CI 127. Let's take a look at the Electoral Commission calendar for as far as filing of the presidential and parliamentary nominations are concerned. And of course, on 2nd of August, the nomination forms will be available for download. On the 9th of September to the 13th of September, the EC will receive presidential and parliamentary nominations. And of course, you already know that the presidential nomination is 100,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, 100,000 Ghana cedis. And of course, for female candidates and persons with disability, they pay 75,000 Ghana cedis. Now, when it comes to the parliamentary nomination, they pay a filing fee of 10,000 Ghana cedis, and female candidates and persons with disability will have to pay some 7,500 Ghana cedis. All right, so let's stay a while longer on the subject. Let's speak to flag bearer of the All People's Congress, flag bearer APC Hassan Ayariga, who still thinks the amount is just too high, especially for the smaller political parties. He joins us live. Thank you, sir, for your time. The Electoral Commission has consistently explained that every serious political party which is ready to man the affairs of this country should be in a position to easily raise such amounts. Why do you consistently keep complaining?
Good evening to you, and good evening to your charity viewers. If you say serious political parties should be able to raise 100,000, are you talking about we selling our country to the highest bidder? Or are you talking about we looking for people with more brains than more money? Because what I see the Electoral Commission do now is that they're looking for Ghanaians who have more money than more brains. And I have consistently complained that 100,000 Ghana cedis for filing fee for presidential and 10,000 for parliamentary is too much for the Ghanaian citizen. It's not about me as Hassan Ayariga. It's about the entire nation and the citizenry. What is the income of an ordinary Ghanaian, public worker or private worker, even a minister? It's less than 15,000 Ghana cedis. If a public servant wants to contest for the presidency of the Republic of Ghana, he has to cough 100,000 Ghana cedis. How many public servants today, as we speak, have saved up to 100,000 Ghana cedis in their accounts? So the fact of the matter is that the Electoral Commission is not willing to practice multi-party democracy, but rather they want to sell Ghana to the highest bidder. And that's what I am against. If major political parties can pay, they can pay because they are in government. They can pay because they don't feel the heat the ordinary Ghanaian is going through. Prices of goods and services in the market are high. Salary of workers are still adamant. They have not increased the salary of workers. It's still stagnant. And you want Ghanaian citizens to cough 100,000 Ghana cedis to file. And if they cannot file, that means that they are not serious. Is that what the Electoral Commission wants us to buy?
So how much would you rather they pay? I
think that looking at our statistics of salary in public worker income in Ghana, it will not be bad for the Electoral Commission to pledge it at 5,000 to 10,000 Ghana cedis for the presidential and pledge 1,000 Ghana cedis for the parliamentary.
And is that not going to open the floodgates?
What are you talking about? Every Ghanaian who is of sound mind, who attains the age of 18, is capable to become a candidate, being it presidential or parliamentary. There is no clause that says that we should use monetary value or terms to determine who becomes a president, a presidential candidate or a president. If that is the idea of the Electoral Commission, then they have failed as an institution that wants to practice multi-party democracy and want multi-party participation.
The Electoral Commission is hoping also to register at least 50,000 new voters onto the electoral roll in the next 3 years. Apart from that, there are also calls for a lot of women to get into, presidency. Let me find out from you, when you look at the filing fees for women and for those who are disabled physically, do you agree that the amount is adequate?
I think the amount is too high. If you look at women, for instance, they are mothers of our nation. They have a lot of responsibility. When women even give them money for upkeep, do you think it's enough? Sometimes they have to struggle from their salary and their savings to add up to be able to make sure that the family gets what it needs. Don't think that as men, we are able to give everything that our women and our family needs. No, we are not. They participate. They're part of it. Talking about disability, how many people with disability have jobs? And what salary income do they earn? So let's be serious here. I think the Electoral Commission is looking for multi-party democracy and participation and looking for leaders who have the brains and not have the money. Then we must as well reduce it. The President of the Republic should intervene in this matter. I understand the Vice President is running using state money, state resources, state funds, campaigning. The double role as Vice President, which I am even going to the Supreme Court for interpretation, whether a certain Vice President can still hold his office and run the President. They have resources available to them. They are not bothered whether they paid it 100,000. So the citizenry that we are talking about are the less privileged in society, those who want to change the leadership of this country and make it a better place, including the disability people.
I've got to say a big thank you to you, and I'm sure this debate will continue in the coming days, but I appreciate your time and for joining us here on News 360. Thank you.
In a related development, the Electoral Commission is hoping to register at least 50,000 new voters onto the electoral roll in the next 3 days. The Commission's mop-up exercise took off on Thursday as the electoral body hopes to give persons who could not register during the earlier general exercise to do so. There's more in this report.
The registration exercise was generally smooth at the various district offices of the Commission. Concerns about potential system challenges were dispelled as district electoral officers reported an incident-free first day.
The applicants are trickling in one after the other. They walk in, they register, they take their data, they print their card and give them, and they walk away. Everything is under control. There is no hiccups or challenges along the line.
It's been a bit slow this morning. We are not getting the numbers, but we are hoping that as the day goes by or the days, yes, it will be okay.
Has there been any challenge with the network system, anything?
Yes, it started very well. It went off just a bit, but it's on now.
Party agents, while pleased with the smooth process, expressed concerns about low turnout.
The people are coming, but they're not coming in their numbers. So we're expecting that maybe by tomorrow or up to the last day, we'll see the numbers coming. But so far, so good. Everything is moving smoothly.
The people will not be coming as maybe you'll be expecting, but it's okay, it's quite well. The networking, I think early in the morning, we were facing some challenges, but now it's okay.
For first-time voters, the MOPA presented a valuable opportunity to participate in selecting their leaders.
I've come in today to do my registration. I'm right in the middle of it. I brought with me my Ghana card, which of course was essential that it needed to be with me. And now the process is going very smooth.
I'm here to have my voters registration since I wasn't able to do it for the first time. So that's why I'm here.
I came into course I was not able to register before.
What questions are they asking you?
Where I live and have I voted before and all that, yeah.
I was not able to register when I was in school, so I came back to register over here.
The three-day exercise intended to give opportunity to persons who turn 18 after the limited voter registration and those who could not register previously to have their names captured in the poll book has, however, begun to be exploited as some minors tried to register. The MOPA registration exercise is taking place at the Commission's designated 268 district offices, 26 public universities and 41 prison centers across the country.
Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo has described the recent Ejapadia document as a baseless document and a clear attempt to mislead and create distrust. Speaking at the Ghana Report Summit under the theme, Dealing with Misinformation and Disinformation in the Upcoming Election, President Akufo-Addo called on Ghanaians to reject fake news.
Addressing the Ghana Report Summit on Dealing with Misinformation and Disinformation, President Akufo-Addo charged stakeholders in the media industry to take measures that will safeguard the country's democracy as Ghana readies for the December 7th general elections.
As we move towards the 2024 general elections, let us reaffirm our commitment to a fair and transparent electoral process. Misinformation and disinformation are challenges that require collective action. By working together, government, media, civil society, political parties, and the public, we can create an environment where truth prevails and our democracy thrives.
Barely 5 months to the December polls, there are concerns of tackling misinformation and disinformation, especially among social media users. President Akufo-Addo wants politicians and Ghanaians in general to desist from spreading falsehood to score political gains. This, he believes, undermines the country's security.
While social media has democratized information sharing, it has also made it easier for false information to proliferate. This poses an immense challenge, particularly during election periods when the stakes are high and the public's right to accurate information is paramount. It is important that these apps take proactive measures to identify and remove false content while promoting credible sources of information. Collaboration between governments and technology companies is imperative in this regard.
The president, while bemoaning the extent to which people go to spread fake news for personal gains, made reference to the Ejapadia document, asserting that the document must be disregarded.
In 2016, it was alleged by sympathizers of the opposition that I had killed my late wife. Today, with a few months to the December 2024 elections, they are at it again. A fabricated document entitled Ejapadia is being peddled around by operatives of the opposition as evidence of a grand scheme by my party to annex the assets of the state. These experiences underscore the importance of discerning truth from falsehood and the need for all of us to remain vigilant against the dangers of misinformation and disinformation.
In a related development, the Ghana Journalists Association is cautioning journalists to prioritize accuracy in their reporting, especially during election period, and to rigorously fact-check information before publication. This reminder was made by GJA President Albert Jumfo during the inauguration of a 9-member committee tasked with vetting nominees for the upcoming GJA Awards.
Journalists play a crucial role in elections by providing accurate and timely information to the public, helping citizens make informed decisions. They serve as watchdogs, holding candidates and officials accountable and ensuring transparency in the electoral process. The president of GJA says this role is crucial and must be executed with tact.
Media must focus on issue-based reporting rather than personality-driven coverage. Give voice to diverse perspectives, including marginalized communities. Fact-check and debunk misinformation in an era where fake news, polarizing narratives, and disinformation spread like wildfire. It is therefore important for the media to remain alert and fact-check what comes through to them. It is the only way, as the fourth estate of the realm, we can be said to be playing our constitutional mandate.
On the inauguration of the committee tasked with evaluating submissions for the GJA Awards, the GJA president emphasized the importance of transparency and fairness in the committee's work.
Let me charge the awards committee with the responsibility of upholding the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and fairness in the selection process. I congratulate each of you on your appointment to this committee and thank you for your willingness to serve. Together, let us celebrate media excellence and promote a free and independent press.
Some more stories this evening. Provision of potable water for the Damongo community was at the center of the 2020 campaign in the Damongo constituency. Government in 2020 cut short for the construction of a $49 million Damongo water project. But what has happened to this project 4 years on? And is there any hope for the project or another to solve the Damongo water problem? My colleague Christopher Marco has more in the following report.
The Damongo water crisis has been with the people for several decades. Residents here have had to resort to unwholesome sources of drinking water, such as dams and streams. Both the ruling New Patriotic Party and the opposition National Democratic Congress in the past promised to start and complete a water project to solve the perennial water crisis in Damongo and its environs. In 2018, the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, through the Ghana Water Company, migrated Damongo from community water to urban water under the Ghana Water Company. 2 years after the migration, government got an approval for a $49 million loan facility for the construction of the Damongo water system. The project was expected to cater for over 68,000 people, with an expected average water demand of about 8,800 cubic meters per day, which was to be drawn from the White Volta in Yape.
Even the MP, our current MP, has admitted that the Damongo water situation is too dire to the extent that he has to buy a water tanker to be sourcing water from a contaminated dam that we have abandoned and supplying to the people. I think we raised this issue some time ago about this, and they have to now exchange it and now source the water from boreholes.
However, due to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic and global economic challenges, the project suffered a major setback.
The funding, all the banks, all the foreign banks are holding on to their money because no bank will release funds to you when they are not able to assess the risk level.
It's exactly 4 years today since President Akufo-Addo cut short for the commencement of the Damongo water system. The project, which was expected to cost the taxpayer some 49 million United States dollars, is yet to see the light of day.
In 2023, the Ghana Water Company Limited got approval to construct an alternative water system at a cost of 17 million cedis. According to the contractor, Damongo Engineering Company Limited, the project, which is 80% complete, is expected to produce 18 cubic meters of water per hour.
We are going to take the raw water source from the artesian well, treat it, as you can see the building over there having the treatment unit, and then it will be pumped into a ground level tank, and then with pumps or with a booster pump sent into the Damongo township.
Savannah Regional Minister Said Muaz Jibro is optimistic that the water project will be completed by October.
And I can confidently say that for the Damongo water project, before the elections, we are going to get at least 50% of our water problems solved. Because where we are tapping the water from, we cannot bring water to every house in Damongo. At least it will be taken to places where people can easily go and get water.
A visit to the
Let's stay a little longer on this and engage the MD of the Ghana Water Company Limited, Engineer Clifford Brima. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us on News 360.
Oh, thank you very much, my sister.
Now that you are constructing an alternative water system, which might not be enough to meet the demands of the people, will the original plan of the $49 million water project still take place, or that will be all?
What we are doing is a temporal measure to ensure that people of Damongo have access to clean water. As we sit today, there are tankers in Damongo, and the tankers getting clean water for the people of Damongo is a problem. The closest clean water, if they really want treated water, is to drive up to Yapi, and that will be almost about almost 100 kilometers away. And the amount of fuel you will use to get that water alone is something else. And so what we are doing is to be able to develop an artesian well about 10 kilometers away from Damongo, treat that water, evacuate it to Damongo Township. People who will be along the main line will be given house connection. But we cannot guarantee the integrity of the existing pipes because there's been construction of roads after the place had been worked on. I mean, the roads have been constructed after the pipes were leaked. And because the systems were already not working, the contractor did not take notice of the pipes and to relocate them. And so all we are doing is to get water into Damongo Township that can serve not less than 23,000 people in a day. So we will have water in the high-level reservoir, which your correspondent is showing on the screen. We will have some limited mechanized pipeline around it. We will have a place for tankers to be able, a hydrant for tankers to draw water from. But the existing project is still ongoing. If the debt restructuring goes on and the go-ahead is given, the project will take off. What we left for that project to take off is just to get the approval of the banks that are financing it for the contractor to start work. We have already spent money. So normally when we say we have done 10%, people ask, what has happened? And then you talk of 10%. In getting a water project, first and foremost, you need to even assess what the demand of the community is. You have to look at what sizes of pipes, what sizes of pumps, and what scope you have to go. And there must be an in-depth study that has been done. The commercial contract signed, everything is signed. The document is currently with the banks, and all we are waiting for to say that, okay, government of Ghana can take more loan facilities, and for that matter, the bank is ready to allow the contractor to go here. So the original project is going to go on. This particular one is financed from the internally generated funds of Ghana Water Company itself.
Well, thank you for those insights, Doc. We'll definitely keep an eye on that and then further the conversations in subsequent bulletin. Engineer Clifford Brimer is the Managing Director of the Ghana Water Company.
A reminder to watching News 360. This is our major news bulletin for the day. You can join us with your views, comments and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Keep your comments coming in on any of our social media pages and we promise to share them with the rest of the world. To other news now, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Katie Hammond, says government's quest to revive and operationalize the Komenda sugar factory has not been fulfilled because the factory was not well constructed under the John Mahama administration. In a recent tour to the factory, the minister said all is set now to operationalize the factory by leasing to an Indian company for 20 years. My colleague Joseph Armstrong has more.
The Komenda sugar factory, founded by an Indian Exim Bank facility, was constructed at a cost of $35 million. In May 2016, President John Mahama inaugurated the factory, aiming to save Ghana millions of dollars used to import sugar as part of the government's plan to transform the nation into a producing one. The factory, which was set to create 7,300 jobs along the value chain, ceased operations shortly. A visit to the facility by the Trade and Industry Minister, Katie Hammond, Wednesday, July 31, criticized the John Mahama administration for constructing a substandard factory and not providing a guaranteed supply of raw materials for the factory's operations.
A lot of things went wrong with this factory here. A factory of this capacity, even now, should be costing about $18 million or so. 2014, 2015, thereabout when it was constructed, it shouldn't cost $36 million. But this was built at a cost of about $36 million at the time that I've indicated.
In 2019, government announced that the company would invest $28 million between 2020 and 2023, including $11 million for sugarcane cultivation, $6 million for plant and machinery upgrades, and $11 million for working capital. July 30, former President John Mahama, introducing his running mate to elders and chiefs of the central region, assured that the factory would be operationalized should he win this year's election.
When we come, we shall do everything in our power to operationalize the Komenda sugar factory.
But in reaction, the trade minister said Mahama will never win the election.
Who told you Mahama didn't win the election?
He spoke about but he spoke about the fact that should he win the election next year, he will ensure that this.
How should the capital of Mahama? You're still asking me a question about your Mahama wins the election. When he wins the election, tell him to fix it.
The Assurances Committee of Parliament has directed the Health Minister to provide a report on the procurement of spare parts for some 307 ambulances by next week. Chairman of the committee, Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa, citing an Auditor General report, stated that Services Ghana Auto Limited, at the time of being awarded the said contract, was not a registered company but won the deal under dubious means. Here are excerpts of proceedings from the committee hearing earlier today.
Because of the public interest, I spoke to one of the deputy governors who have a working relationship when I was at health insurance. And the deputy governor made me aware that this is lodged with them, but not even $1 has been given to the provider. She used some terms, like I said, I'm not a finance person, that it is actually a letter of credit, that it is when the provider has actually performed, supplied parts to certain tunes and supplies the work executed, that they are empowered to pay for the work done. And so the governor had made me understand that they have it with them, but they've not paid. Again, the processes, controller to BOG saying we've not paid any amount. All these are trails which as state actors should be willing to give information. I deliberately didn't make my PR team put in this part of BOG not having paid $1, because I believe that they also, as an organization, if called upon, should be able to say it for themselves. But
Meanwhile, the company at the center of the ambulance contract controversy, Service Ghana Auto Group, has denied any wrongdoing. A statement issued by the company maintains it was selected alongside other companies to handle the maintenance contract through a competitive process. Now, North Tong MP Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa had alleged that Service Ghana Auto Group had won the ambulance maintenance contract due to its ties with the First Family. He also alleged that the contract sum for spare parts were bloated and far in excess of even the price for each vehicle. The company has been reacting in a statement. It maintains it won the contract through a competitive bidding process as a consortium of 7 companies. Now, on the cost of the contract, the company says the 113,000 per ambulance out of the legislator is inaccurate. The contract sum, it explains, covers mechanical and medical spare parts. It adds that it has so far supplied 45,000 of such items to the ambulance service. Now, on the suggestion that its work has been questioned by the Auditor General, the company says it disagreed with the findings of the Auditor General and was not even offered a chance to respond. It adds that it has nonetheless refunded the imputed sums. Now, the company concludes by indicating its readiness to provide documents backing its position to any investigative body and will not hesitate to seek legal redress against any individual or company that publishes false statements against the company. A reminder, still watching News 360. Ayisha, do you have some news for us?
Yes, there's a QR code on your screen right now. If you scan with your phone, it takes you directly to our WhatsApp channel where we are sharing everything on our news, be it our code cards, our events, as and when it is happening. So scan right now and join our WhatsApp channel. We're going for a short break. We'll return with some business news.
One bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal. Pepsodent.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in.
Red Recito! Boss, let's go back. Here. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh. She's here.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
75 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again.
Phil Foden is having the season of his life.
Brilliant! Just brilliant!
That is quite something.
Catch all the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A games on DSTV Compact for only 300 cedis a month.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil,
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Good evening and welcome to the business segment on News 360. My name is Menu Afo. Let's go straight to our first story. The Ghana Gas Company Limited has assured the public that its scheduled maintenance work over the next couple of weeks will not impact power generation in the country. According to the company's management, adequate arrangements have been made to ensure a continuous supply of gas to the various power generation plants during this period.
In an earlier statement, the management of Ghana Gas Company Limited announced that it would undertake critical maintenance work on its gas processing plant and offshore gas export facilities. These operations will be shut down from the 1st to the 17th of August 2024.
It's very important that as a company we adhere to the protocols and do the right thing to make sure that the facility has an efficient, uninterrupted operational activities going on within the gas processing plant. And so we decided, per the protocols, do a critical maintenance, and that is to change a lot of things and also make sure that the gas processing plant lifespan is maintained. Is one of those things that we do.
The company plays a critical role in the country's power generation due to the gas it supplies, raising concerns that this shutdown could negatively impact power supply. However, it appears measures have been put in place to prevent such an occurrence.
We'll want to assure the general public that there's not going to be an interruption with any power generation for the country, because we made an alternative lean gas which is going to flow from Sankofa OCTP, which will be available for delivery for TDC, Takoradi Distribution Station, for Abuazi Thermal Plant for power generation. So basically, we've made an alternative for that, which is part of the combination of the tying of the three sources of power, source of gas flow for power generation.
Michael Lobodu, 3 Business, Accra.
Away from that, there's a growing trend of civil servants leaving Ghana, leading to significant financial losses for local banks. This issue arises because the loans these individuals owe are typically deducted directly from their payrolls. Electoral Ghana Savings and Loans PLC highlighted this concern during the Facts Behind the Figures event organized by the Ghana Stock Exchange. The problem of high rate of migration from the Ghanaian economy appears to be causing problems in the banking sector in terms of loan repayments. According to Managing Director of Leseho Ghana Savings and Loans PLC, this has been a major cause of his company's increased levels of non-performing loans from last year till date.
The biggest challenge we are seeing right now for us, especially in 2024, is what's happening in terms of the number of people who are vacating posts within the public sector.
This has been a major cause of his company's increased levels of non-performing loans from last year till date.
The biggest challenge we are seeing right now for us, especially in 2024, is what's happening in terms of the number of people who are vacating posts within the public service. I think that contributes almost 43% of our book. And so that's something that really warrants a lot more interrogation of. It'll be a fantastic thing if we could see the embassies collaborate with us to make sure that the work that's happening with us trying to empower societies is also supported.
The company has, however, achieved operational efficiency despite the issues with loan repayment.
Our cost-to-income ratios come down from 90% to about 69%. And as at half year 2024, we are looking at about 51%.
The facts behind the figures is an avenue the Ghana Stock Exchange uses to keep investors updated on the financials of their issuers.
There's an opportunity for the media, for the investment community to engage with those issuers. So investors can make buy and sell decisions, as well as support companies that need to raise additional capital.
We'll now shift your attention to licensed Forex Bureau operators who have commenced training to acquaint themselves with new trading directive from the Bank of Ghana, which takes effect today, August 1, 2024. The Bank of Ghana launched a centralized foreign exchange trading platform for the buying and selling of foreign currencies. Earlier, I sampled the thoughts of some operators and have come through with this report. The central bank has launched a centralized foreign exchange trading platform, which is supposed to take effect today, August 1, 2024, in line with its objective to ensure the integrity and development of the financial system. So, 3 Business has been making some checks at Forex bureaus here in Oxford Street, Osu, and here are their responses.
They just brought me a new laptop to install the app for it, so I haven't started yet.
Has there been any checks by the BOD? Has any BOD official?
No, not yet.
So nobody has?
Yeah.
We have an existing software which we are all using, all foreign bureaus are using, but they are not doing away with it immediately because we are still under training. So when we are done, then the Bank of Ghana will then say that we should go do away with our existing, the old system, and then migrate fully live on the new system.
Other operators who spoke to us off record have also confirmed that the system's implementation has not begun. However, they are hopeful to begin sometime after they've had adequate training and have familiarized themselves with its use. Menu Afo, 3 Business, Osu. And now the 2024 edition of the Graphic Real Estate Experience, in collaboration with the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, has been launched. The annual housing fair is expected to connect potential home buyers with developers, financial institutions, and other industry stakeholders.
This year's fair is themed Green Housing, Safe and Secure Home Ownership. Let the buyer beware. Managing Director of Graphic Communications Group Limited, Ato Afu, advocated for the use of locally sourced materials in Ghana's construction industry as means of reducing housing costs.
It will also guide market segments of existing home owners and potential owners on their investment journey from land acquisition and opportunities existing in real estate as an investment portfolio. This makes the concept of affordable housing, as promulgated by the state and greater over the years, more pertinent amidst our expanding urban and peri-urban populations and the need primarily for essential residential accommodation.
President of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, Patrick Ebobonfo, advised the general public to consider the real estate agency law in their property acquisition deals.
It has become imperative that buyers should use estate agents, that is reputable, recognized, licensed estate agents, to help them do the due diligence and inspections of the properties and everything, as well as do all the necessary searches on the property before they go ahead and purchase.
Director Sales and Marketing, Graphic Communications Group Limited, Franklin Soa, called on homeowners, prospective homeowners, and the general public to join them for an experience.
Come with every problem. There is a solution to your problem. Lands Commission is here. Developers are here. Building material suppliers are here. And consultants in terms of financing and funding are also here. So trust me, this is a one-stop shop market.
Well, that's it for Business on News 360. My name is Menu Afo. Do stay with us. Sports News is up next.
Live in a community where your neighbors become family. And where family is love that awaits you on a daily basis. And where friendships bind us together in communal spirit. This is Eden Heights, a well-planned paradise with ready-to-move-in apartments and penthouses located behind the West Hills Mall, where living is a lifestyle. So, whatever your style, Eden Heights is the perfect place to live. For purchase or rental, call +233 50 153 1444 or +233 50 153 1445. Eden Heights, the height of modern living.
In a fast-paced daily life, we all need to breathe a little. Day by Day Women's Skincare enhances your skin with long-lasting effects thanks to their active cosmetic ingredients. It is time for yourself. Discover the new Day by Day Women Body Lotion range.
Let's have more money promo. What's up, you 1 million?
Baba, 1 million.
Nana, then a mayor menyesika bebre.
Nana, champagne. Usumbe, Sanka, Pito Nation up. I don't tell me that they get how come for. What tell me?
Fino, tell us some more money. Tomo, open your 1 million Ghana cedi.
Everyone is trying to win millions in the Telecel More Money promo. Win daily and weekly when you reload your mobile and broadband bundles. You can win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis weekly or the 1 million Ghana cedi grand prize. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning in Telecel More Money promo.
Dial *500# or opt in on the Telecel Play app for free.
91 million!
Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Hello, good evening, and it's time for us to bring you the latest in the world of sports. My name is Thierry, and thank you very much for joining me on this one. Now, all eyes will be on Ghanaian high jumper Rose Yeboah on Friday morning at 8:15 Ghana time as she battles for a place in the final of the competition. Rose qualified to Paris by meeting the qualification standard of this year. One goal.
I mean, taking my training.
But the major one is the high jumper, Rose Yeboah. Now, Rose has had a really good year. The Ghanaian record holder. She's actually the queen of high jump in Ghana and in Africa at large. And so, will that purple patch continue at the Olympic Games? We are waiting to see what she does. Now, Rose Yeboah on the World Athletics website as of the 16th of July 2024 is ranked 12th in the world. Out of the whole world of high jumpers, Rose Yeboah is number 12 on the list, which is really, really good for any Ghanaian. Rose Yeboah will be the first woman to compete in high jump at the Olympic Games for Ghana. Now, there have been two other high jumpers who have already competed at the Olympic Games, one in 1952 and the other in 1960, who were all men who competed in those years. But Rose is coming in as the first ever female to compete in high jump for Ghana. But it will not be easy. She qualified with a height of 1.97 meters, and she would have to do either more than that or at the same level to get into the areas where she can win a medal. Now she's 12 on the list, and who knows, maybe, potentially, she could come home with one of the medals at stake.
Now, Spanish second seed Carlos Alcaraz continued his bid to become the youngest seconds, Carini went to the corner for her coach to fix her headgear, but after briefly resuming, returned to her corner once more and stopped the fight. And then in local football, Kumasi Asante Kotoko head coach Prosper Ogum has made a return to the training pitch, marking the end of his recovery period following surgery. Now, the experienced tactician was met with a warm welcome from players and staff as he resumed his duties ahead of the upcoming Ghana Premier League season. Now, Ogum's absence due to illness forced assistant coach David Oklu to lead the team. Oklu's stewardship yielded a positive result as Kotoko secured a 2-1 victory over arch rivals Hearts of Oak in the Democracy Cup. The Porcupine Warriors have undergone a substantial overhaul during the off-season, parting ways with 21 players and bringing in a host of new signings. Kotoko's campaign kicks off on September 6 against Kerala United in the Ghana Premier League. And that'll be all for the sports here on News 360. With me, Thierry Nyan. Entertainment next.
Entertainment News segment is powered by 3 Entertainment.
My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu, and you're welcome to the Entertainment News segment. A dynamic new dance wave is sweeping across Ghana, thrilling audiences and uniting communities through its vibrant artistry. At the 7th edition of the Accra Boogie King, 6 energetic dance groups dazzled on stage, each infusing their unique flair with passion into their performances. Since its debut in 2018, the Accra Boogie King has surged in popularity, attracting thousands of attendees both in person and online. This impressive growth has cemented its status as Ghana's premier dance event. What began as a soul-winning initiative by the youth-based First Love Church has blossomed into a major cultural celebration. The event now highlights Ghana's rich dance heritage while fostering national unity. In this year's competition, the spotlight shone brightly on 2 standout groups, Team Huppies and the Militant Dance Family. Their breathtaking performances took Ghana's dance scene to new heights with exceptional skill and creativity. Yet, it was Team Huppies who captured the crowd, emerging as the champions of this year's Accra Boogie King.
Last year we came and we had a lot of disappointment. So this year we really gather ourselves up to come and win.
Their victory marks another milestone in the event's illustrious history.
With the winners, you can see that they really prepared themselves coming. Everything that they did were well planned, the costumes and everything. And I believe that those that came that didn't place, I always say everybody's a winner. But those that came that did, next time I know they're going to work harder and they're going to do their best next time.
And to some good news coming in for the dancehall fraternity, Jamaica's Court of Appeal has ordered for dancehall superstar Vybz Kartel to be released from prison after serving 13 years of a life sentence on murder charges, and judges decided he should not face a retrial for murder. The 48-year-old, real name Adija Palmer, was jailed in 2014, but his conviction was overturned by UK judges in March. He had been accused of killing Clive Lizard Williams in Jamaica, but has always maintained his innocence. Although his conviction was overturned months ago by the Privy Council in London, authorities in Jamaica had time to decide whether he should be retrialed. In addition to the thousands of people who celebrated his release on the streets of Jamaican capital, rapper Drake posted a photo of himself wearing a Free Kartel t-shirt to celebrate the news. And that brings us to the end of the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikufu. Have a good evening.
In international news this evening, Nigerians across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory have commenced the long-awaited protest, which may likely last for 10 days as they demand an end to bad governance. Now, Marvelous Obumanu, who has been on the ground in Nigeria, brings us the details.
It was called a peaceful protest, but that was not the case because of recorded cases of violence and vandalism in some parts of Nigeria where the street action took place. In Abuja, Nigeria's seat of power and administrative capital, the protest was relatively peaceful, as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has earlier directed through a court judgment that the protesters should converge on the Moshood Abiola National Stadium to enable the Nigerian police provide needed security and prevent any form of violence.
Basically, when protests of this nature happens, we have some of them who have genuine intentions, and of course we have some people who would rather vent their anger, and willfully destroying government property, and that is what we are how to prevent. And our men are everywhere. We have deployed to virtually all critical national assets in the country. I've been in Abuja as we speak.
As they are blocking the expressway, I have said, enter the stadium and do your protest. That's my message. No person is stopping them from doing protest, but they should enter the stadium and do the protest. That is the court order, which they are aware of.
The protest was ongoing and it was peaceful until the Nigerian police started throwing canisters at the protesters, trying to disperse them from converging on the Federal Secretariat, an area that houses government's ministries, departments and agencies, as against the earlier directive to only restrict the protests at the National Stadium, which resulted to many having scars of injury.
We are here to exercise our fundamental rights. The government should help and fix the country for us. That's all we are asking of. Nigerians are suffering. We are begging. Fix Nigeria for us.
We want to end insecurity in this country. We want to end bad governance. We want free education for all. And for that stupid loan that they are giving poor, hungry Nigerian youths, we want it to be as grants.
Before we go tonight, just take a look on your screen right now and you will see a QR code. Kindly pick your smartphone and scan the code. It will take you to our exclusive WhatsApp channel for 3 News. That's where you'll find everything news from us here on TV3, from our news code cards to videos and details of events as they happen. It's a 3 News channel on WhatsApp. Do well to scan and follow to get the very latest updates here on TV3. And that's all for News 360. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Paa Kwesi Asare.
And I am Ayisha Yakubu-Halid. Have a good evening.